So this woman, let's call her Cheesecake. Now Cheesecake, she's an escort, she's a con artist, she lives in Russia, and she had allegedly been trying to con her next door neighbor out of some money. The neighbor is this woman, who we'll call Moms. So Cheesecake tries to con Moms out of some money, and when the con doesn't work, Cheesecake just unalives her. Then she drives Moms' body about 2 hours away and she burns it. Then she goes back to Moms' apartment, scrubs it clean, and takes everything of value. Money, jewelry, everything, hoping she'll never get caught. Now, lucky for Moms, she has a daughter. Her name's Nadia. And Nadia lives all the way over in New York, and Nadia and Moms are close. Like, Nadia calls her every day in Russia to talk to her. And then one day, when Mom stops returning her phone calls, Nadia gets worried. She knows something is very wrong. So Nadia immediately drops everything and flies from New York to Russia to check on her. Now, at one point, Moms had told Nadia about this shady next-door neighbor she has, this woman Cheesecake, and how she thought Cheesecake was trying to con her. Knowing this, Nadia is immediately suspicious of Cheesecake, believing that she had something to do with Moms' disappearance. So Nadia goes to her mother's apartment, tracks Cheesecake down, and she confronts her. Like, hey, where's my mom at? And Cheesecake's like, your mom is still alive. She probably went on vacation or something. And then she just runs away. So Nadia calls the police in Russia, and they start investigating. And they come and they question Cheesecake, but they really don't have any hard evidence against her. Regardless, Nadia is not gonna let this go. She wants to know exactly what happened to her mom. So she starts her own investigation. And she spends about 6 months in Russia trying to figure all this out. She's talking to friends of Mom's, she's posting missing flyers everywhere, she's checking traffic cam footage from all over the city, and during this time, Cheesecake knows police are looking at this case, and she knows the heat is on her. So she just flees the country, and then Interpol finds out and they put out an international arrest warrant for her. But by this time, she's already long gone. And eventually, sadly, after 6 months of investigating, Russian police finally find Moms' body. And they want to hold Cheesecake accountable, but unfortunately, she's already fled, living a good life in Mexico. And it doesn't look like she's ever gonna get caught. Until soon enough, Nadia is back living in New York, and she's bummed out, and she's trying to get over her mom's passing. But then one day, she's browsing Facebook, and she comes across a Facebook page, Cheesecake's Facebook page. And Nadia's like, oh hell no, I am gonna find this bitch. So she goes and she hires a private investigator to help her. This guy, who we'll call P.I. Now, P.I. is apparently very good at what he does. And one of the first things he does, he goes to Cheesecake's Facebook page and he scrolls through and he finds this selfie. In the selfie, he can see the reflection in her sunglasses. And through that reflection, he's able to piece together a lot of details, like what kind of car she's driving. And through that, he's able to piece together the area she lives. And by some crazy coincidence, the area that Cheesecake now lives in is New York. Not just near Nadia, but about 5 or 6 blocks away from Nadia. So she's really close. So then P.I. takes all this information and he reports it to the police. Meanwhile, Cheesecake is over here in New York living her best life, but unfortunately for her, her visa is about to expire. And she can't let that happen, because when it does, she'll likely get deported back to Russia. If she gets deported back to Russia, then she'll probably face charges for unaliving Moms. So then Cheesecake comes up with a plan. So she happens to know this local beautician. Her name's Olga. And Olga and Cheesecake kinda sorta look alike. So now Cheesecake wants to get out of trouble by stealing Olga's identity. So Cheesecake befriends Olga and she goes over to her apartment. But beforehand, she put poison in a slice of cheesecake. And she's like, here, try this cheesecake I got for you. Anyway, Olga tries the cheesecake, she gets poisoned, but luckily she survives the poisoning. Regardless, Cheesecake has already been reported to the police by P.I. And that same day that P.I. reported her, police go straight to Cheesecake's apartment and they arrest her. Here's her mugshot. And she gets charged with trying to unalive Olga with poisoned food. She goes to court, she gets found guilty, and she's sentenced to 21 years in prison. And the best part is when she gets out, she'll immediately get deported, which means she'll get sent back to Russia, and there she'll face charges for unaliving Moms. Good luck with that. Shout out to New York and Russia.